just getting a few things together, and we'll get on this build. Pretty stoked about this one. This is actually I think this is the first streamed build I'm going to do that is not for me. So, building this for our buddy Trunks on several of the Discords. So, yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. We give a few people a shout, and then we'll get going on this thing. Sorry, folks, for joining. Give me just a second. I'm hollering at a few people, let them know that about to go live and do this thing. Sorry, Original Stance. I need to get around to actually setting up my commands and stuff. I haven't done anything, but we are going to be building a Sho SRX. So yeah, it's a PC win key. What's up, Randy Ocean? So yeah, this is, those who have watched my stream know that I am an HHKB enjoyer. So I would not normally build one of these, but got an offer I can't refuse from a fellow keyboard fan, so I'm gonna go ahead and build this one up for Trunks. Group buy, yeah, I think the group buy is over, but man, reach out to Sho, just because he does things. Now I don't know if he's gonna be doing any more PC. I think this is the last run of the PC stuff that he's done, but I hit him up. He does some other interesting things. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of start showing that one off. I'm going to actually go ahead and set this guy aside for now, because before we get to that, we need to do one other thing here. So, got the PCB there, got a nice dome sheet that I just finished cleaning up and drying, but I want to give a shout out to our buddy Beez, and he sent us this little present here. Yeah, okay, well, cool. If you're interested in an aluminum one, definitely hit him up, because he's, he seems like he's doing all the things all the time. So, yeah, our buddy Tech sent this, Beez, and give my shout-outs and appreciation for that. This is what we're going to be building. So, if you saw, the various pictures I posted in some of the Discords or some of the conversation, the plate that this came with, in fact, the entire keyboard was pretty scuffed. Yeah, this one's super pretty. Thanks, Drop-Off. So yeah, big dub for Beez. So the give me a second. This is what I'm going to be sending back to him to do whatever he wants with, refinish this thing. But try not to touch it too much, because it's a little gnarly. But yeah, that's the not so pretty that this is going to be replacing. So he did a gorgeous job on that. So I'm looking forward to putting that one together. Alright, so cool. Yeah, first things first, gonna snap in some housing. So I did a lot of cleanup. So I've got all of his parts all nicely scrubbed and stuff. These are the caps. They were shipped with the kind of scuffed board, so they are a little bit actually scuffed up. We're going to work with those. The first thing I really want to start with, though, obviously, is, housing. So we got a whole lot of housings. These are obviously more than an 87U. but you know, had those around, so we'll do those. And first thing, there's actually a couple special housings. So if you notice, you know, we got the LED guy, and this little feller in the corner. So I've got a couple little special ones that we'll be doing that with. So let me go ahead and get those out first, and then, you know, spacebar stabs, and yeah, those are the dozen 1U domes, and we've actually, you know, a couple of them are already trimmed for the LEDs, so that's what we'll be working with here shortly. Yeah, let's start popping things in. You know, before I do that, I'm just gonna grab a standard one because I'm kind of curious how these fit in the plate. If I want to use you know, house gaskets or not. So yeah, let's see how these fit in here. You know, honestly, with the paint and everything, I think that's pretty good. Do I have other TKLs? I do actually have TKLs in my collection. So I've got a handful of them. I've got you know, other things that aren't TKLs as well. I've got a, you know, 980. I've got a couple 660s. So I like the Leopolds. And yeah, I do have a TKL built into a what's the Norbauer, the Norba Force board. So I've, you know, TKL's all right. It's just not my, you know, not my preferred layout. I love HHKB, so while I do use them, it's not, you know, I don't use them often. They probably see my closet more than they actually see my desk. So, man, yeah, I will say, dude, like, I don't know if it's because of the paint or what, but those like have no wiggle in there. Those are like popping in perfect. So yeah, so I think we're gonna go without the housing gaskets. So I'd rather not use them. If they can be avoided, really the only time I want to use them is if there's, like, you know, some jiggle room there. So I think we're doing good. Though let me go ahead and pop in these little special guys real quick so that I don't forget those. Okay, there's one LED, two LEDs, and then yeah, this little special guy. This guy's interesting because it actually, if you've not used an 87U before, it rotates the entire thing 90 degrees. So when you look at the stem of that cap, it's actually, the break in it goes horizontally. So that's a little special guide. In fact, I've got that's the one thing I didn't have RO59, so I've probably got you know, another 20 minutes or so till the alarm in the other room goes off, and when it does, I'll run in there and grab my nicely RO59 you know, little fancy guy there. So, but everything else is ready to go. Do I have other topiary TKL? Okay, sorry, yeah, TKL good. Densas or Real Force housings. Yeah, this one is actually getting built entirely OEM. So I've got, you know, a dome sheet. I've got OEM springs, OEM sliders. I did RO59 the sliders. I will be doing, you know, 206G2 in the stabs, but, you know, for the most part, I'm just going OEM on this build for trunks. And then if he wants to put different caps on, or, you know, whatever down the line, that's up to him. Yeah, Pekin Ducks, that's Stim giving you trouble with High Pro. Yeah, it's there's really not a lot you can do with it other than, you know, I mean, Dremel it out a little bit, put a standard one in, and then, you know, trim the standard one in the corner so that it fits around the LED. But man, I guess you really can't on that one because that's where the, yeah, shoot. Well, yeah, troubles. I don't know what you do in that case as far as the High Pro goes, because if I'm thinking, you know, are there High Pros that are canted 90 degrees like that? Yeah, I think this is going to look really, really good. I was wondering, like, if, you know, flake off. I mean, I am seeing a little bit of flaking just from, like, the gold paint from the inside, but we'll once we get this together, we'll blow that out, and it doesn't look like it's actually coming off the face or anything. So this is going to be, yeah, that's going to be real sharp once it's all put together. Yeah, I'm stoked for this build. what was that? You just had Kiko send some OEM caps in order to use it. He gave you some options and was like, "Yeah, it's not worth doing." Yeah, there's really not a lot of pretty options as far as what you can do in that case. So that's good on Kiko taking care of you. All right. Yeah, these are popping in really nice. So I'm happy that we don't have to dick with the gaskets, because you know, the less, I mean, I know everybody says it, you know, OEM best, all that, but like the less like modding you have to do, like the better. Now there's definitely, you know, lube benefits, like there's some things you can do to make things sound better, but like shoot, man, there's a reason why when we grab those OEM boards and start typing on them, it's like, yeah, there's just, yeah, it sets its hooks. It's good stuff. All right. And hope you all don't mind. I'm still sticking with the spooky movie tunes, just because, you know, we're not yet too far into the holidays that I'm busting out the Mariah Carey and everything. I still gotta give Halloween and all that spookiness another week. All right. So I think this is probably going to be a pretty quick build. So I let Trunks know that we were going to be running it tonight. Hopefully he can join us and watch a little bit. But you know, if not, then we got the VOD. But man, I'm looking forward to getting this thing together. This is definitely, I appreciate the hell out of Trunks giving me this opportunity, because I probably would not have been building one of these otherwise. Like, this is not, you know, like I was saying, this isn't the kind of board that I usually build when I'm building my Topre board. So, you know, it's kind of cool to get to experience something a little bit outside of my my standard. Yeah, I guess the other board that I harvested these from was a Japanese board, because I'm just noticing I've still got, you know, some of those 1.75, like the weirdo housings, which, you know, it's if you've not seen those before, that's another Topre thing that I think has pretty much gone away. Like, yeah, the sliders for them are also very interesting, because it's got like 6 points of, oh, sorry, Pekin Ducks, what's up, Trunks? My bad, dude. Yeah, well, I appreciate you for giving me this opportunity. I apologize that it took me a long time. I know we've talked a little bit about some of my, you know, trials and tribulations or whatever, but I'm so glad that, you know, we're getting to sit down and knock this thing out. So, yeah, let's do this. Welcome. Yeah, I will say I may be reaching out to Tech Beezin, because this plate is really nicely painted. Like, and he was like saying, "Oh, it's not that great, whatever." But like, dude, compared to that green plate that I painted for my my ingot, like this is night and day. Like, he may not be pro, but he's definitely gifted amateur on this paint job. So I'm digging it. Yeah, Beez is very humble. You know, I will say, with rare exceptions, that's one of the things I really dig about this community, is like, got a lot of really like humble, down to earth, but incredibly skilled, you know, makers, designers, you know, modders, brainstormers, whatever. All the people that are involved in all the parts of this, like, bunch of humble folk. Now, not all of them. There's definitely some people who, you know, think very highly of themselves. But man, yeah, I don't know. I get along well with a lot of these people, because everyone is just so chill. It's nice. So, Trunks, I was thinking, as far as silencing rings, so I've got a couple options. I've got the Des rings, like I've got .3s. I think those are silicone. I also have the .3. What the hell are they? The Thok rings from Keebs. I don't know. Do you have any opinions as far as what kind of rings you want on this? We can go thicker. I think I've got some .5s as well. But like, you know, just if you've got some thoughts on that, let me know. Not that we need to know yet, but I figure we're probably, you know, 20 so minutes from getting to bust out sliders. Sub Spaceballs, the username. 0.3. Okay, okay. Well, if you prefer silencing, I'm definitely down for throwing those rings in there. I don't know. Let me double check, make sure I do have enough of the silicone ones. But if you're down for giving silicone a shot, I am a real sucker for the silicone rings, so I may throw those in here. But if you're just diehard Poron, I've got plenty of those from Keebs. So just let me know. Okay. Yes, sir. Another day, another Topre board. Yeah. Okay. You'd be down to try the silicon. I think that's what are in most. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I do love the Topre. Like I don't know. It's relaxing. I've had a heck of a week, and like, it's really nice at the end of the week to kind of sit down and take a little bit of time and just work through building the Topre board. So, not having to worry about soldering, not have to worry about this or that. Like it'll just pop it in sliders and housings. What's up, Batter? So give me a second. I'm gonna do my looks like drugs but isn't thing with I've been, God, who was it? Someone was drinking mate on the stream the other day, and got me back on the mate. So I busted this out and been sipping on this last couple days. It's good stuff. And if you've not seen this before, it's basically just like this little cup with loose leaf green tea in the top of it, and the straw that actually has a filtration system in it. Yeah, ELH Custom, thank you. Appreciate your original stance. Yeah, that's exactly who it was. And yeah, he put like some freaking sour candy in his, and I was just like, oh man, that's gnarly. So I had to wash the idea of that out of my mouth with some actual mate. So got the jerba out. I'll, I'm sending. Do I know how to use all these keys? Not really, but this isn't a build for me, so I'm not gonna have to like suffer through another 27 keys I don't know what the hell to do with. So yeah, this one's going to trunks. But I mean, I kind of got an idea what some of these keys do. They do what I use layers for, but yeah. Thankfully, I don't have to know. I've got enough of these other keyboards around to keep me off of this shit. But welcome, Tatari. Yeah, it's been fun as I've been streaming and kind of checking out other streamers, and I apologize if you're one of those persons who's like really anal with the way that like the letters are going and everything. I did not keep track of that. I will put all the sliders in the same way because that drives me nuts, but I'm not so OCD as to worry about which way the letters on the front of the the housings are facing. So yeah, Topre is a lot of fun. I would say do one. Like, it's... I don't know, or not. Some people just don't like Topre. But it really is a different experience. And, like, I feel like the first one, you'll probably spend, like, 4 hours dicking over it. And then the second one, you'll spend, like, 2.5 hours. And it only gets easier from there. But, like, they're just really chill. I mean, there are a lot of screws, That is a valid complaint. Like the screws, you got to deal with a lot of case screws and board screws and everything else. But other than that, no soldering. And I mean, I know with MX, you don't have to solder with your hot swap and all that. But it's just a different thing. It's nice. It's fun. And they feel so good and they sound so good. Like Topre is really freaking nice. So I'm a real sucker for them. I tell you, I love Topre. Alright, so I need to figure out some kind of standoff to put under the edges here when I lay this thing down. And actually, before I go too far, I do want to look at this little white box just to make sure I do have all the hardware that I'm expecting to have, because that kind of bit me on a stream before, and luckily I was able to scrounge up what I needed elsewhere from another show kit. But yeah, I want to make sure that don't run into any troubles that I'm not prepared to deal with. Alright, one more of these, and then we can pop in the space bars. And I've got these noise canceling. Yes, oneness with cup rubber is the truth, Randy. Yeah, it's what's not quite hot swap, not quite solder build. You will train your zen in oneness. Yeah. And there's, I mean, I don't know, what was the one that I put together the other day? The M0110 YMDK kit. Like, that thing, because it had standoffs that came separately, so you had to like screw from the bottom and screw from the top. That thing was like double the screws and everything. That was probably one of the more tedious builds I put together. But if you're doing OEM stuff, and man, that gold looks good. Randy, man, yeah, look at this thing. Tech, you are killing it, dude. So yeah, I love the oneness with cup rubber. You are right on with that. It's just something to it. Okay, I'm gonna set that for now, and I'm actually gonna show something off. I'm gonna take a little, just a half-second break here before I go check the oven. But yeah, sorry for the cat hair. My cat's been chilling around the desk, so I might find a few here and there. And you know, if you get one or two trunks, I apologize. I do my best to keep them out of here, but oh, that one actually looks like it's in the paint. So that's that one's from Beez. But yeah, so you recognize these caps here, and again, there's another cat hair, sorry. But that one, it's a little bit different. So these are, Kiko sent me a couple of the mono caps, because I had one that was like slightly malformed that got through QC. So sent me some replacements, but this, so V1, and hold on. Yeah, that's one of his new caps. So here's V1 cap, V2 cap. And OEM just for fun. So OEM, V1, V2. And look at that thing. Like, that black is black. Like, comparing that to the charcoal caps and stuff, like, that is a black cap. I would love to get, a full grid of those. But beyond that, what's under the cap is what's really sick. Sorry, we'll get back to the build in just a second. I just wanted to bust this out because I had this thing sitting over here and I was like, man, I don't think I've showed that off yet. So, yeah, so here's V1, which looks like standard Topre mount. Like, that's what you see in the bottom of your OEM caps. But the bottom of this one, dude, look at that thickness. So very thick. And like the hands, which it looks like the hand is jerking off the wrist in front of it. I can't not see that. Sorry, Kiko, but like there's, just something about that. And that's entirely me. Like, that's not anything you did. I have a mind that goes there. But man, that is so thick. The logo, like, but God, they're so good. Look at that. And the texture on the top, like, I got gloves on right now, but it's really nicely textured. Like, it's, dude, yeah, the thicker walls are going to be super sick. So I love the V1. I've got V1. Actually, it's right here. Sure most of y'all have seen this already, but this is my, I put the Kiko caps on that guy. But man, the V2 caps, when those come out, I will definitely be lining up for that. So I don't know what the planned colorways for release are, but yeah, whatever comes out, I think I'll be lining up for those if I can. And they clip right in. They're very nice. They work great with all the OEM profile stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked for that release. So all right, so let's get back to this thing. So we are going to be going with 0.3 silencing rings. Let me find some stuff to stand this off against. And we'll start popping in some sliders. Alright. And I really need to get some of that, those extra Fox ones printed. I was seeing somebody talking about those in one of the Discords earlier today, and Kiko saying, "Oh my God, retro vaporwave." Yo, I'm about that. All right, I'm super into that. Yeah, so let's see what we got for silencing rings. So I've got the Thok Ring 0.3 Poron. I think I've got. Let's see what we got for desk keys. Those are fives, twos. Okay, 0.3 silicon. See how many this is. Hopefully it's more than just 2 sheets. Oh, is it only 2 sheets? Damn. Okay, so that's 60 of them. So let's see. So I might not be doing silicone. We'll see. Alright. Huh. Interesting. So those are 0.3, but they're a different material. Is it 0.5? Yeah, you know, I should have looked at this beforehand because I might not have enough of his 0.3 silicones. Let's see. Bunch of that crap. Yeah, we'll shoot. Let's see what we got on the Thok rings. We got... Okay, we have enough Thok rings. Would you be okay with 0.3 Poron? Trunks? I can do the 0.3 silicone, but I think... well, let's see, actually. Let's see if I have enough of this one kind. If so, then you might get the old school. Yeah, so that's... Yeah, I've only got... Damn, so I don't have a full 60. So I could do point... Okay, all good, all good. Cool. Cool. Then yeah, I'll do the Thok rings on this one. So we'll get a little bit of a, you know, we are the world here thing. We got, you know, shit from all the different manufacturers except for one. So, okay, cool. And I mean, I could use these and just do like, you know, all of these white ones on alphas and do the, you know, the other ones on your mods or something. But I mean, I don't know. I like Poron too. So let's just go with those. All right. So we got those. We got. Okay, where are the sliders? Here we go. Yeah. Now the fun part. I should probably put the lid back on so I don't accidentally spill these. And I, you know, while bakers can't be choosers at the same time, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to build you a board that you're not going to enjoy. So, like, if you're cool with Poron, we can go with these. If you want the silicone ones, I can, you know, we'll make them do. But I like Poron. I've actually been using more Poron lately on some of my builds, and you know what? I don't hate it. So, all right, let's do this thing. And so these are RO59. You can kind of see a little bit of shine on them. I did these several months ago, and then I've got another set, which are in right now of the new desk keys purple, and alongside that I also have one of the the 90-degree one. So all right, cool, good with Poron. Well, that works. Yeah, I've been really looking forward to doing this build. So, like I was saying earlier, this isn't my usual, you know, layout or, you know. Yeah, those are, yeah. Okay, cool. But it's really cool to do because I've been looking at all the pictures of the SRX builds that everyone's been posting, and I'll admit I was a little bit envious. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not something I would type on every day, but man, it is such a nice case, and Real Forces feels so good. So I'm really stoked to get to build and type on this, even if I'll be sending it off as soon as I'm done with it here. All right. Oh shit! just dropped a slider. I'm gonna leave it there because I got a million of them. This thing. Yes, desk keys are still palm. So yeah, when I'm baking them, I have to keep that in mind when, you know, as far as temperatures go, because I don't want to go too high and make them melty. I think Anachronism did that once with one of his RO59 baking attempts, and that was a very sad day because they're not cheap. Yeah, doing this with gloves is interesting. I usually don't wear gloves when I build mine, but just because it's, you know, it's a clear case, I really try not to get my fingerprints or any kind of, you know, lube or anything on the inside of it because I don't want it to get marred. But it does make putting rings, and, you know, especially because these things are RO59, they're, you know, there's real slippy guys already. It's making it interesting. So, you know, keeps the stream lively. But I apologize if I'm not keeping up with the chatting as much. 170. Yeah, 170 on palm. That's about right. Yeah. And what I've actually been doing, just because I know, you know, some ovens fluctuate. Like, I've been basically running it to what I want my max temp to be, and then I've been turning the oven off when I've been putting them in. So, you know, my oven retains its heat pretty well, you know, over the 45 minutes or so that I usually will be curing them. But yeah, like that way then I don't have to worry about it, you know, any kind of fluctuation trying to hold the temperature, taking it up above that, because it's not so much of a deal with, I've got like an old commercial range, but with people who are running, you know, residential ranges, sometimes they can go and, you know, take this shit into the danger zone. So if we can avoid that, we will. Alright. We're slowly getting there. Yeah, actually, you know what? After I drop this one in here, I'm going to go step over there real quick and make sure that, because I think we actually should be done cooking. Give me a minute. Oh yeah, we done cooking. So there's our little guy. If you've not seen these, this is the one that goes around the LED. So it is a very kind of different base shape than what your standard slider is. So the spacing on the legs is still the same, but you can see it's very much reduced, kind of built to fit into that space without getting in the way of anything. So it's an interesting guy. I'm gonna give that a second to cool down before we pop it in, but we'll pop that in here in a second. And yeah, like I was saying, it goes at a 90 degree, so rather than going, you know, with its cross member this way, its face is this way. Alright, got a few more people joining. What up, y'all? So before too long, I might be reaching out to some of y'all fellow streamers here, because I want to start setting up like the, you know, the commands, and I don't know, you know, there's a lot of cool stuff that's going on some of these streams that I need to figure out how to do. And I feel like a lot of that stuff's probably just, you know, read a manual and knock it out with some bot or something. But I'm still very much a troglodyte with this streaming thing, so I don't know if I start bugging you, some of y'all with some questions, you know, go show mercy on me. Yeah, my ring situation is making me think I may need to place an order here before too long, because I really do like those number 3 and number 5 silicone silencing rings that Des makes, and looks like I got enough number 5 left, but my number 3 is depleted. So I got a couple more builds coming up soon that I'll probably be wanting some of those. In fact, tomorrow I have something showing up, I think, that I'm pretty stoked about. I jumped in on the blind buy for Streamlabs or Stream Elements commands are pretty easy to add or change. Okay, yeah, I'll look into that. Yeah, so that's actually the one out of the donor board for this, and it was an 87U R1, so it's one of the older, Real Force ANSI boards. But similar to that, it did have the weird LED, 90-degree canted slider and housing. So yeah, if you've seen those, it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, I'll pop that in here shortly. I just want to give it a few more minutes to cool down, because it was literally fresh out of the oven. And for those wondering, what the hell is Jason doing? Why is he baking his keyboard components? I use the heat and airflow of the oven to quickly cure RO59 onto my sliders. Because the standard way of doing it is giving them a 24 to 48 hours at ambient temperature, air dry cure. But I don't have time for that, so I like to just get that shit knocked out and dry them fast. So I throw them into a depending on the material, either a 200 degree or about a 165 degree oven. And let them run for 45 minutes to an hour. And then I do multiple layers of RO59 typically, usually 2 or 3 these days. I was going up to like 5 when I first started doing it, and I feel like after 3 there's really not much of an appreciable difference. So you're just, at that point, you're just kind of wasting lube. But yeah, it's this little guy and all of these guys here have 3 on them. And they, it feels good. It kind of smooths out some of that scratchiness, which some people like the scratchiness, and like the, the break-in process on Tobre. Some people kind of want to, speed through, and that's when you start lubing your rails, or, the RO59, or, the various oils and stuff, Turbosis, I know. Some people use the, the Krytox 105s and all that, but I like the RO59. It bakes on, it stays on. I've taken boards apart that have been running for years with this stuff, and it's still there. So I like that about it. Oh, jeez, man, these things are slippery. I'm trying not to drop this stuff, but I know there's one. I can still see it down there that I dropped on the ground earlier that I have to retrieve and try not to give it a partner. Yeah, diminishing returns, pretty much. Now it goes on so thin, and because it bakes and like the suspension medium evaporates, like it's so thin on there that it doesn't like add thickness or like make them like sluggish or anything. So it's nice that you don't really have to worry about that, but it's still yeah, you don't really get much after a couple coatings. I try to do 2 or 3 just to make sure that it's at least on there everywhere, because I do bag lube them, so I don't go over them with like a paintbrush or anything. And with bag lubing, they pretty much get coated, but not 100% the first time every time. So go for coating 2 or 3 as well. Alright, so we're getting there with the thock rings, the sliders. And once that's done, then we're going to slap down the domes. And that's actually going to be the quickest part of this process, because being an R1, Real Force, ANSI, standard weight, it comes with a very nice dome sheet that pretty much covers, I think, 75 of the 87 keycaps. There's only like a dozen individual domes. And most of them for like the mods for bottom row, like the kind of basically the things that that between like ANSI and JIS do not match. So I guess what's a JIS 91? So what they come with 16 1Us, I would assume, and then, you know, all the other stuff is all on the dome sheet. So yeah, it's nice. Okay. So yeah, as far, man, I was just thinking of the keyboards coming up. So I'm really looking forward to the Sho S60 V2. Main reason, and like, you know, it's a nice looking board. Like I don't know, I feel like earlier this year I was bemoaning like I don't want to buy another metal rectangle, but like, you know, what do we got? We got some more metal rectangles coming in. Man, almost dropped that one. I just realized how terrible my lights are. Let me turn that light down just a little bit because like my head is fucking glowing. Pardon me. I mean, I guess I'm just over here perspiring, so yeah. See, I got my towels for the keyboard, I got my towel for my head, and never the twain shall meet. Alright, let's get back to it. Oh, you're still sanding yours? So what was up with it? What finish, or did you not get it finished? What are you doing on yours? And Randy Ocean, the MM Studio HHKB, yeah, that is a very interesting looking board coming up. For the reason you give, that it is, you know, pretty much compatible across the line. So that's pretty sick. That is a cool feature. But yeah, what I like about the S60 V2, you know, metal rectangle that it is that it is actually open on the back for your, you know, your USB hub, for your, you know, the dip switches, like, so you can actually connect devices and, you know, turn it on and off. Like, I've got a couple Yang boards that have the switch on them. It's like I don't want to install those into some of the aftermarket housings or cases because then I can't turn it on or off. Like, I have to actually unscrew shit to be able to flip a switch. So it's nice that yeah, it's nice that that is something that I don't have to worry about with the S60 V2 because all that shit just works and is exposed. And I know some people don't like it, but yeah, sorry. You have literally every other aftermarket, you know, case to choose from that doesn't support that feature. So give us one. Give me one. Sorry, just trying to read and catch up. So you want to steel to match your full size, sand it to a mirror, then bake it in an oven at 550 to case harden. Nice. Also nice having an oven that actually goes to 550. I feel like so many ovens are marked to that, but like, I don't know. I can always like kind of tweak with my thermostat in mind if I really want it to go high. I was playing around with pizza cooking for a while and messing with the, you know, the thermistor so I could get that thing to go almost 800 degrees. Not quite, but like, you know, I was able to turn it so that when I turned it up, it really, you know, that thing got hot. And probably maybe a little too hot for a residential range, but, or well, I mean, it's a commercial range, but it's in my house. So, you know, I probably don't have the right, you know, heat treatment on the walls around it, but it did fine. And man, it cooked those pizzas like a sumbitch. It was awesome. Alright, we're getting there. Oh, nice. A stainless steel plate for it as well. Sweet. Yeah, man, Show stuff is so good. And I'm a sucker for steel. Like, don't get me wrong, aluminum's nice. It has its qualities. But, like, steel, like, I ride bikes and I like steel frames. Like, just steel is nice. Steel is really nice. So I'm stoked that I'm getting to build some boards with that. And the S60 V2 I got is aluminum, but I've got an HG on the way that is the mirror finish steel. And man, I know they ran into some issues with the first run of those, and so they're remaking them right now. But I'm really got my fingers crossed that those turn out good, because I would love to get one to have it next to my Veracity Steel Heavy Grail and just like rock out the steel boards and I don't know, have heavy shit on my desk. So yeah, they're cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to so much stuff Show is coming out with. So like, what's in the pipes now? So the Show 66 is coming out for all the FC660C lovers. Obviously the HGs are actively shipping, and the stainless steel ones are coming out soon. The keycaps that he's doing. Okay, yeah, I saw the 980C. The 980 is gonna be a heavy son of a bitch. Like, whoever orders that in brass, like, shoot, man, don't throw your back out. But yeah, his stuff is so good. And oh man, Goblin just came on. I love this movie. If you guys haven't seen Zombie, check it out. It is a great film. And I know it's made its way around, all the weirdos, but like, dude, like, I remember the first time seeing that, and I used to have like the old like Italian clamshell VHS case that I bought at I Love Video for whatever the hell back in the early 2000s. And dude, like, that movie is so good. I think I wore that thing out. Yeah, the aluminum caps are so freaking good, like, so good. I don't have a board that I need to put them on, but I would, like, if I had a set, I would put them on a board. They would definitely be going on something. What, I don't know. But, dude, yeah, they just... Oh, there's a cat hair. Hold on. Okay. They just look too good. They really just look too good. And I know some people are like, oh, they're just going to be fingerprint magnets. They look, whatever, tacky. But dude, I'm a tacky guy. I love that kind of shit. I love, metal on metal on metal. It all must be metal. Yeah, I don't know what Show's deal is, like, but for real, like, his connection to his factory, like the fact that he's always pumping out pictures of like shit on the mill, of shit that just came off, like, dude, I love it. And I hope he's getting his sleep, and I hope he's getting, getting to enjoy his free time. But I will not complain for the fact that, he is there, I mean, giving updates every day. Showing us cool new shit all the time. Yeah, I love it. Dude, keep it up, Show. If you watch this VOD, Show, you're doing good. Yeah, the IMR Works caps, High Pro in a full set with different space bars. Yeah, so those... I mean, those are, full metal as well, and the pictures that I've seen IMR Works tees on those, like, they are sharp. So yeah, that's another set coming down the pipe that I would love to see. But I'm just like thinking about the volume of work that Show is putting out. Dude, there's just so much stuff. It's impressive. So yeah, the MM Studios kit, the Show stuff, IMR Works caps, it sounds like Ursa is going to be going to group buy here, I will say, fairly soon, hopefully. Kiko with the Amano V2 stuff. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming out for Topre. Or for EC, I should say, in the near future. And I mean, hell, like, even kind of, the cheapening of some of it, like, I feel like the Densus parts... got us to one level of, I love desk keys, but like the price is rough. I will say, like, y'all know it. You know, if you bought excuse me, if you bought Desky's parts, you know how much you're spending. You know how much you're paying on shipping. It's not cheap. Parts are cool, not perfect, but you know they feel great when treated right. But yeah, like Densys came out with his parts, got them a lot cheaper, and then you know there's the PBB stuff that like is next level cheap. So I am really, you know, I'm stoked that there's, you know, an even, you know, more, you know, bargain cost part out there that, man, they feel pretty good. I've got, like, got my M0110 built up with them. I built a S23 out of them, and they feel really, really good. Like, I like those parts. So I don't know. I'm happy to see that, you know, the price points you get. You know, you got stuff all across the I guess the spectrum. And now that that their kits are coming with actual 2U parts, spacebar stabs, like that's only getting better because now you don't have to mess with CoStar to make their stuff work. Because if you've seen the PBB kits, formerly they were only 1Us, and so to use any stab keys, you had to use CoStar. So hoping if the Ursa stuff doesn't suck any, they come out with some better colors. Yeah, I mean, I hope all the new stuff doesn't suck. I will say, like, I got to type on a few columns of prototype Ursa caps, and my god, they were nice. Like, and those are the resin caps, so these aren't, you know, they're not double shot. You know, what are they doing, like ABS shot with PBT over them? Like, they're doing something wacky. But yeah, the resin caps that I typed on, the profile, the sound of them, the feel of them, dude, they were really nice. So yeah, I'm hoping that the, you know, final manufacturing reflects that, because sheesh, very nice. And Pekin Ducks, you were saying that you feel like the IMR Works isn't coming out for a long while, though. So I, you know, not that I didn't have patience before, but this hobby has definitely helped me exercise my patience. There's a lot of things where it's like, buy 1 year, maybe you get it 2 years later, maybe you don't. Who knows? Even the fast stuff, it's like, you know, when I'm feeling good because something delivered in 6 to 8 months, because I'm used to, you know, a year and a half, like, yeah, I don't know. I can wait. I can definitely wait. Artizo, what's that? I've been trying to make Densys stuff work. The housings and stabs seem nice, and the springs are kind of weird. Couldn't get them to work. Yeah, so I've built 2 Densys boards with Densys springs. I got them to work, but the whatever the release agent, machine oil, whatever the coating is on them, definitely make them feel funky, and I didn't like it. And I didn't put in the time to clean them. I just went with them as is, and you know, I guess I got lucky because everything works and it doesn't sound like shit. But like, I don't know, that stuff was kind of gross, and I wish that they hadn't put it on there. Do the Densys springs sound bad or actuation issues? Yeah, I'm curious because I didn't. They crunch and you can feel the springs decompress. Okay, I may need to go back to my board and play around with it a little more, because I don't feel like I was feeling that, but then I wasn't really looking for it. Maybe now that I know there's something to look for, then I can, you know, I can detect it a little better. But we'll see. Oh, stay. Oh, almost lost one more, but caught it. All right. So we're getting pretty close here. We'll just do this last one here. Do the bottom row. Do that funky guy, and then got some 2Us to lube up and install with the wires. Got the spacebar stabs to work up, and we can throw the sheet on there. And from the last couple builds that I did with like 1U, I think the last thing I did was I tore apart my my S60 V1 with the Densys parts, and so I had to realign a few things, and it's all those 1U domes. So getting to work with the sheet is going to be real nice. Alright, well, we are getting so close here on these. I don't know what DBD music is. This is just some horror soundtrack stuff. So I think this is from Halloween. This is the shape stalks is the sound. It's a Carpenter. But yeah, I am working. What's up, Chaos Fire Dragon? I am building Trunks's SRX. So this is a Real Force 87U R1. But I got a. I guess when Trunks had his board returned from another Topre vendor, they sent the wrong board back, and it was like super scuffed and rusted. So Beez was kind enough to do up a nice gold painted plate for this build. So we're swapping a few parts. Where I cleaned everything up. I ultrasonicked all the bits, and yeah, we're just doing a. We're giving Trunks a much nicer, cleaner build than what was sent back to him. Oh, Dead by Daylight is a game. When Freddy is chasing you in that game, this is what it plays. Awesome. No, so that was a. I don't know. Dead by Daylight, is it like a slasher game or something? I assume. I don't think I've heard of that one. And does it actually use like the slashers from the movies, or do they have kind of their own characters, if that is? Because you said when Freddy is chasing you, so I'd assume that's a Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy. Oh, and I just threw a ring on one that I do not need, because this last one is that weirdo one. So let me retrieve that ring. And yeah, this is a little different than most Topre sliders. I showed this off earlier, but it's kind of this like weird, super truncated looking guy that fits at a 90-degree angle, so you go slightly the other way with it. And this is for this one in the corner that has an LED, and so it requires a special. Okay. Man, is the fatness on this different? Because doesn't seem to be moving like I want it to with that ring. So okay, yeah, that ring that might not work. So I might need to do another ring. Give me just a second. Let me mess around with this a little bit, because if I can get this to work by trimming it, I'll just do that. Yeah, actually, I'm going to take a quick. Yeah, man, the way that this works, that is not going to work with a silencing ring. So I'm trying to think what I want to do. Because yeah, I didn't realize this. So this is let's see if I can actually get some light in there. So if you can see, it's actually got this raised collar right here that like hugs the slider, and then there's just this little opening here and here. And I'm really curious why they did it that way. But that precludes the use of a silencing ring, because it just gets pinched. So that's why it wasn't falling when I was trying to. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's like a way that I could make this work with another housing and trimming it, but because yeah, that would have to go this way, and then I have to trim out that corner. Let me just try something real quick. I just want to see if this what happens if that fits. Cut a corner, do a bit of sanding. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. So I hate leaving one unsilenced, because then it also sits at a slightly different different height. But let me just pop that guy out real quick. Okay, so you'd have to trim. Yeah. So I have to sand the top and bottom and then cut that corner. Yeah, alright. Thinking about it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, let me take a peek at that. Okay. Sorry, I'm shutting up for just a second. I'm just kind of looking over this to see what the best way of trimming this. And yeah, I appreciate you sending that, Randy. So man, yeah, oh, that guy almost fell out. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's just like a better way of man. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna do something real quick with a scalpel and see if okay, so it would need to go. So that's normal. So it'd go this way. All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of do a little, just do a little trimming, just for fun. So I'm real curious if I can actually make one of these fit in there. Then I don't mind trimming down the corner around the LED. But I feel like that would be a better solution than yeah. I don't want to mess anything up here, but we'll see. We'll see. This is fun. See, this is something I don't get to do with an HHKB because we don't have these weirdo corners. But yeah, I think this is kind of, this might, if I can get enough of this off, because this is definitely cutting it. Alright. Sorry, Chaos Fire Dragon, I missed your question. Wanted to ask, had the AliExpress seller of the EC60 assemble the poker board? G and S are triggering without pressing anything. So, have you done the calibration? Because there's a calibration thing that you can do using VIA and SIP's, you know, the side loaded firmware that got all of mine to play nice. Like, and it basically what you do is you turn the thing on, you go through, hit every single key, and it kind of measures like the points along it. And I don't know, it just makes it work. It was cool. Like, it went from a lot of my keys not pressing, some acting funny, to like literally everything working. So if you've already done that, I apologize for bringing it up again, but like that fixed my problem with that EC60 board across the board. Artazil, is that Sips? Yeah, cool. What's up, Thrash and Tony? Welcome, welcome. So sorry for the. I just realized I'm not even doing this on here. Let me. I'm gonna set this aside so that I can actually do this in the view of camera without dropping pieces into his board. Because what I'm doing is I'm actually trying to trim slightly right here so that I can pop this in at a 90-degree angle. If I can get that done, then I'm just gonna kind of cut the cut the corner, trim it up a little bit, and maybe just use that instead. Because then I can use a silencing ring on it, and everything will sit like level, and it'll work with the right caps and shit. So we'll see. But we're getting there. Okay. I'm trying to make sure that I'm remembering to rotate and take it off of both sides as evenly as I can, because I also want to sit level with everything else. And if this doesn't work and I end up just like going back to the other part, then I apologize. You might get one cap on it that's not as silenced as the rest, but I'm really hoping we don't have to go to that. Alright, see how we're doing here real quick. Oh, that's right, the 6.25. Yeah, I don't know. I did it with mine from the from the YMDK folks, and it didn't give me any problems whatsoever. So what? Does that fit? So okay, so I need to trim that corner. But yeah, that just popped in. Let me make sure that oh, so that's a different... Okay, that's why, because it's a different slider entirely. So I guess it's the size of the slider. Oh, man. Alright, that makes sense. So does this just take a regular... Yeah, that doesn't... No, it's squeezing a little bit, so that's not gonna... It's not quite there. Alright, well... Not quite there yet. You know what? That doesn't feel... Yeah, that's... I think popping in, we may have warped that one, so... What's up, Neko? Sorry, I just saw you. So I'm trying to figure out what to do with the corner here. So it's the one with the LED and the strange slider that does not work with the high pro caps. So I've got one, so I can just pop this in and go with it. The problem is that this does not support a silencing ring because it is a different it's a different diameter, and they've got these weird little like raised things that get in the way of silencing rings. So there's really no way of silencing that corner cap. So yeah, I was carving up a regular, but I think I screwed it up. So I think, oh yeah, when I popped it in the board, it looks like it slightly deformed it. So now that's not running smoothly. So I have lots of extras. I don't feel too bad about that, but that means that that ain't gonna do it. Yeah, it's got a barrel that'll interfere. Yeah, I hadn't messed with that. So I may just go ahead and pop this in for now to do the build. But I'm going to... I've got that other plate, so I can take some more time, probably off stream with a Dremel where I'm throwing stuff everywhere. But I don't really want to do that right here in front of everybody. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this one in, put it together, and then we can I can make the right part work on another plate. So I don't want to mar this one up, but. So shave the silencer and make flat marks. So that I can't do, unfortunately, because, well, for one, it's a different size, and while I've got it out here, let me take some measurements on that, because yeah, it's really different. So hold on, let me get a 1U. All right. So standard measurements on a 1U, and it kind of have to take them from the bottom and the top. So at the bottom here, we're looking at what, 8.39, and at the top, we're looking at 8.20. So notice that, like, as I push it into it, there's a noticeable difference between the top measurement and the bottom measurement. And that's one thing that I think Densys did not do on his parts, and so that might be why we're running into the binding issues. So this, look at that. That's like 7.84. Let's see if if there's any difference. So, oh, that's actually, so that's interesting. 7.87 at the top. 7.86. So yeah, so this one is actually like pretty much straight. Maybe even a little bit more flared at the top than the bottom, because look at that. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. So that's, 7.84 versus 8.39. So that's considerably different. All right, well, that explains everything. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and pop this in now to do the build, and then, I'll open it back up and swap that out once I get the other one done. But now that we have all this, oh yeah, I was about to say, now that we have all the sliders in, then I'd be real sad because I forgot my 2Us. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me get these out. And then I'm going to grab, that's like a little piece of plastic sticking off it. Yeah, I don't like that one. All right, I'm gonna go grab another paper towel because we're gonna do some lube application. I'd like to get a clean one for that. Okay, and I think with that I can go ahead and put these away because we're not going to be needing any more of those for now. All right, I'll be right back. Alright, so now the fun part. I've got some, where the heck did that go? Out of there. Got some stab wires here. So these are the ones that came out of that other board. Looks like it might actually still have just a little bit of lube on it, so let's make sure that's good. Yeah, it's fine. Alright. And we got all of our, real force screws. And actually, that's right. While I do this, I do want to look, make sure. Okay, cool. So yes, we got the ones for attaching. All right, perfect. The plate to the housing. So I think we're good to go on all that. Let's do some lubing. The silencing rings, they basically quiet down the return sound. So with standard unsilenced topre, you basically get kind of a the thock noise that a lot of people kind of talk about is the the sound of the slider returning and kind of hitting the plastic inside the housing. But with a silencing ring in place, that sound is lessened as the return is kind of, you know, muted by the poron or the silicone ring. So it chills it out a bit. I happen to prefer the silicone, but like poron is what the OEM silencing rings are made out of, and it is, you know, if you've ever heard like an HHKB Type S or the, you know, what I think the Leopolds and the Real Forest, you know, they have some silence ones as well. It's a pleasing sound. It is nice. You know, I've run into two 2Us now that kind of had like some weird plastic. So like this one has this strange. I thought it was lube at first when I ran my finger over it. And it's actually like the plastic that's kind of rippled there. So I'm gonna skip that one as well. I'm curious what that. Yeah, even on the top, it's got kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe that was a one that kind of had an error in manufacturing, but it wasn't enough to actually cause a cause a malfunction. But I'm gonna go ahead and skip that one and make sure Trunks gets a nice one. Yeah, it's much nicer. All right, cool. So those are good. We pop those in, and then we'll do the lubing, and then we can do some domes. So yeah, we're moving right along. And I appreciate y'all who are sticking around to watch. This is I've been really looking forward to this. Oh, I just realized my... There we go. Yeah, I've been really looking forward to this build. I don't know, the providence of it, like, it's something that's already been built, and then was unbuilt, and then got sent to me for a rebuild. So so far I haven't really run into any gotchas or anything, but I'm keeping an eye because I'm pretty sure nothing's been stripped, nothing's been too messed up, but yeah, we'll see. We're not there yet. All right, so now that those are in place, we can start doing the fun part, which is the lubing. And I do like doing this with a syringe, just because it kind of gives you a little more control over where you put it. But at the same time, once I've kind of squeegeed it into place, I'll use my brush to kind of push it around a little bit and just make sure that it gets on all the contact surfaces that I want it, and just kind of suggest it into place where I want it to go. So get that done, and then we're gonna go and hit the clips. I'm sorry if my big old head's in the way, but I kind of got to get that overhead view to make sure that everything's going right where I want it to. And just kind of push it down in with that. All right. And I know that's not a lot of lube, but we just kind of want to get it into place with that to make sure that, all the surfaces are coated, and then I'll go in there and do the fill with lube. So just pop that wire into place. All right. And then the fun part, where you come in here and you just gunk it up. So I go fairly heavy on these. And then I take the brush and kind of, push it around and remove, if I go a little too much. But yeah, with Topre, I tend to go heavy on the lube. It just kind of helps quiet the rattle and chill things out a little bit. And I feel like with silenced Topre, it's like, because so much of it is so quiet, like if there is rattle or if there is something that's not running right, then you can really you can hear it. So all right, just make sure there's nothing left on the surfaces that actually touch anything. I think that'll be good. So let's go to the next one. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the chat. So this is 206 G2. So this is like Crytox. I was using 205 G2 for a long time. This is slightly thicker. I was just noticing on some of my some of the 205 G2 older boards I did that the lube had displaced some, not a lot, but over time I'd start to get a little bit of tick back into some of the wires and stuff as the lube moved around. So I went to a little bit thicker lube. I've tried there's another one, XHT BDZ, and that one is like crazy thick. Like if you think of the viscosity rating of this stuff, I think the 205 G2 was like 500 something. I think the 206 G2 is like 800 something, and then the BDZ is like 3,000 something. So it's it's thick like peanut butter. It's pretty intense, and it's very sticky, which is great when you get it right where you want it to be. But I don't like it. It makes a mess. It's not as simple to clean up as some of the other stuff. So I just stick with my old Crytox 2 series and call it a day. All right. So that one's in place. So we're gonna go and hit it up with the lube again. And sorry if it's kind of the lighting in here suck, but like if you see where I'm going with it, I'm basically trying to lube, in these clip contact points here and kind of around where like the plastic rubs on the metal rubs on the plastic, and then also basically around where these clips go into the 2Us and just kind of give it a good gunking up in there. So that when those move, they, kind of removes the rattle and, keeps them chill. So, all right. And with that in place, I'm going to go ahead and raise it and then just kind of dab to make sure that I don't have any of those, front surfaces. And when I get the dome sheet out, it's got. I'll talk about it then. I don't know. It's nice. Yeah, marshmallow spread. It's very much. It's like, what is that, fluffernutter or whatever the heck that stuff's called. But yeah, marshmallow spread. Or as another member of the community says, it's like a cannoli. There we go. All right. Got those up. Oh. Almost went in without doing the bottom of the clips. And I do like to try to get like, a little bit below the wire and then, go above the wire and hit it with a brush to move it around, because I don't know, I just feel like, with some of the tolerances or whatever that's not like super super tight, it does help keep things in place, just filling it up with that lube. I did QMK and updated the actual the bin file, and then when I loaded VIA, I went ahead and loaded the JSON. So I did both, and that might be overkill and not necessary, but I'm a simple caveman, so I went with what I tried it. And it worked for me, so I've kept doing it. But yeah, I went ahead and I flashed it, and then once I connected it to VIA, I did the JSON file. But I know someone linked there's a video that Sip put out that kind of like shows off his, how he does it. So I would follow that before listening to my advice. All right, you flashed the firmware with QMK, and the website SIP provided just kind of detected it. Yeah. That VIA site is pretty freaking cool. Like when it works, like I had one board that it was giving me problems with, and I tried a million different things, and I don't know what eventually got it working. I tried like reloading all sorts of PC drivers. I did all sorts of weird shit, but like eventually got it going, and dude, it has been rock solid ever since. So that one, the return on it's a little bit slow. So I'm gonna pull some of that lube out, just because I don't want it sticking. All right. There we go. Okay. Alright, well, it feels good and there's no binding, so we're going with it. And we got one more, and then the space bar, and we can bust out some domes. You know, that's a good question. I've not actually done it on the wires, but honestly, the lube on these wires isn't so much to make them slide easily, but it's more to kind of take up the rattle, if any, and kind of just like take up that little bit of space. So, at least in my opinion, I don't know. I feel like, you know, you don't really have like the sliding binding like roughness that I feel on some of the sliders that on the, you know, the stab wires, but I don't know, that might just be me. Alright. So get this guy clipped in and lubed. Cool. Alright, and it looks like I did not get that guy in right, so let me, yeah, these things are weird. This little 90-degree corner. Okay, there we go. That's in right now. Alright, so let's just do these space bars. Alright. So these I do quite a bit of filling on. There we go. Use the brush to push it back into place. Alright. And I'll do the same on this side. There we go. Oh. I just found a cat hair. Get that out of there. Alright. And then we got to do the points on the other plastic that it clips in. Then we'll do the wire and put it all together. There we go. Okay. Sorry, so just adding a little bit to where the wire is going to clip into the plastic. I'm going to paint it around the wire. And then we'll do the same on the ends and then pop it into place. go. And we'll get these ends. PC wind keyless SRX, nice. Yeah, wind keyless is one of those things that I like the look of, but functionally I like my wind keys. Like, I'm not a wind keyless guy, so I don't know. I know some gamers say it's like, you know, they have their reasons for it, but I guess I'm just not as into it that, you know, I would need that you know, to get rid of the wind key. And it does, you know, it does things for me. It does nice things. So I like having a functional wind key. Alright, so for this one, just pop in that end, slide it back, and then we'll pop in each of these bits and make sure the lube is where we want it and call it good on these. Come on. For some reason, this guy's giving me a problem popping in. Come on, you bastard. Killing me. Alright, there we go. I just got it to pop in with my thumb, so... There we go. Alright. Cool. Make sure that's not binding. That's good. Get in there with the brush to kind of push it back into place a little bit. And actually, this one I'm going to need to do a little cleanup because I did get some on the, yeah, alright. You bind Win key to left control. Win key lock. Yeah, So, is Win key lock a feature in the game, or is that something that you actually have to map on your keyboard? Like where do you turn off the Win key? And if you're curious what I'm doing, I got just a little bit of lube on the side face of this, and so I'm just pulling it off of there because I really don't want lube between those plastic parts. I really just am trying to get it, you know, on and around the stab wire so that it prevents rattle. But yeah, the goal is not to get it on the you know, the actual plastic to plastic facing. Okay, I think that's good. So I'm going to hit it with just a little bit more lube in there. Now that we've kind of got it all in place and displaced and all that good stuff. And then we're going to start putting it together. Alright, there we go. So one of my favorite parts about working on these old 87Us are the dome sheets. Like, and especially after working with like Densys or working with, you know, like the BKE Redux stuff, like, yeah, if you've ever had to like put together a full set of, you know, single domes, and then you get one of these, like, talk about night and day difference. So this just drops like right in there and covers the large majority of the layout. Alright. So yeah, so that's that. And then the rest of them, I've got some, where did I put those? There. And the rest are just some one use. So let's see, there are some special ones here that I have to take note of. So that's got the little LED. This one up in the corner has the LED. And this one at the bottom has this kind of wonky trim to go around that LED. So that's all that. And let's just do the regular ones here. Spacebar. Do my 2Us. Oh. And I apologize if down the road, Trunks, you open this up and, you know, happen to find a cat hair. Because I am, I'm doing my best here, but I have creatures in the house and they, you know, they do shed. And they've actually been very, very kind and not getting up on my desk right now, and I appreciate that, but, you know, their hairs do make it around sometimes. So if you know, when you tear this thing apart next, if you do open it up and find a cat hair, I apologize. Alright, we're almost there. So I will say, this is interesting. When I took it apart, it had two more LED cut domes than I was expecting. So, like, you know, these places that are getting these extra two LED cut domes, I'm not really sure why they sent those, but I mean, they work just fine. Like, the dome itself isn't compromised, but it's just, I found that interesting when I took it apart, that there were like these two more than I was expecting. I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, maybe that's just what they had at the time and they put it together, but, you know, here we are. So, alright. Next step, and this is another fun part, is the springs. I'm actually going to go ahead and take my gloves off for this. And I'll put them on again when I start touching the case, but yeah, I think this is going to be, you know, I feel like pulling the springs apart is tricky enough sometimes without gloves. With gloves, that would have been a nightmare. So we're just gonna go with this. Actually, yeah. All right. Just making sure that's only one spring. Cheap cases for the Pro 2. Yeah, I mean, not like super cheap cases for the Pro 2. Yeah, I think that the Sho S60 is probably the cheapest one that I've seen yet. But I feel like with how cheap Pro 2s are, like, maybe that gives you a little bit more leeway to spend a few more bucks on a case. Because, I mean, shoot, dude, you can get a Pro 2 for like $100 from Japan. Like, I feel like the last one I got was like, I got one for 98 and one for like 104, and shipping on them was like 22 a piece. So, I mean, even then, like, that is a cheap keyboard. Like, so yeah, I didn't feel too bad about picking a spare up for my my new V2 the S60 V2 that's coming in. Yeah, the Taubauer. I've been liking seeing some of that stuff coming out. Like, I don't know. I do wonder if any of that can actually put any kind of like price pressure on any of the other makers, or if, you know, that's just such a completely different thing. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I did like how Desk Keys was able to like chop his prices as soon as Densys mentioned, you know, where they were going with their prices. Like, Desk Keys was like, oh yeah, these things I was charging, you know, 40 something bucks for, I can knock down to 20 something bucks, and like these things I was charging 20 something bucks, now $12. So I do appreciate some competition in the market. Let's just say that. And I apologize if I keep going over springs, and this is one of those the parts of the process where it can be a little tricky, because these springs do like to nest inside each other, and as much as I try to gently pull them apart and make sure that I'm only installing one spring, if I get to the end of the road here and I end up with, you know, one less spring that I was counting on, I may have to go over these again with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that I don't have any nested, because that is a pain. The S60 V2 is, I mean, I know he posts pictures of it on his Discord, so if you're on the Sho Discord, check it out there. I don't know if they're up on Rebel or not yet, but I expect that's where they're going to be. Sorry, I had to take a yerba mate break here real quick and take a few sips. I've been back on this stuff. It's just like, loose leaf green tea, but gives you a big jolt of caffeine, and man, it's good stuff. Thank you, Tatari. I appreciate you sharing that link. Yeah, like man, if you want like a, I don't know, depending on where you are, it's like I'm in the U.S. and I love like waking up and seeing new posts to like the showcase and shows Discord and like what's the new stuff that he's busting out today. Like he makes some cool stuff, and since it's going China time, by the time I wake up U.S. time, it's like he's usually got something cool new to reveal, and man, I love waking up to show stuff. So I've been noticing on OEM springs a little bit more that like sometimes, and yeah, you can't really, it's not so much on this one, but like the bottom rung of the spring actually kind of curves back up slightly, and sometimes will sit above the coil before it, and I'm wondering if that is anything that is contributing to like the spring crunch that people talk about. I don't know, but I've been noticing it more and more on springs as I'm kind of applying a critical eye to them. But these are all OEM. They were out of a pair of real forces. So they're the kind of the gold Japanese OEM springs, and I don't know. As I sit here and like look at each one, I feel like maybe 1/3 or so kind of has that like bottom rung that like goes a little bit higher. So I'm wondering if that if that contributes to any sound, or if that's an issue. Is like, should I be here? Do we need to start cherry picking our springs or what? But yeah, I don't know. Sorry, so you're getting a Pro 2 2016 created for some stuff. Kind of want a nice case for it, but don't want to spend too much. Um, Not really into Topre. I loved how the Pro 2 2014 felt, but was not a big fan of the sound, so you ended up trading for MX stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like anything else in this hobby, like, it's all preference, Like, some people, like, to me, I love the Topre sound. I mean, compared to MX, like, I will never vocally say it in someone's, like, MX stream, but, man, like, when I'm watching people's streams, and like I love watching the build, I love watching like people soldering, I love all the loving care that goes into building all of these MX boards, but then like they get to the very end of the stream and they get to the sound test, and like I will, sometimes like actually like cringe from like the noise of the MX, long pole, whatever the hell, slamming against the, whatever this and that. Like, dude, it's intense, man. And like I don't know, maybe I'm just like my delicate, cup rubber sensibilities, but like there's just something about like a lot of the MX builds. It's like I'm not feeling them. So I do want to build some MX stuff. Like I want to try to explore that again. I was building MX before COVID and before I really got into Topre. But like I don't know, 2018 I think, once I really kind of you know, really took the leap into Topre, like I haven't gone back. So I want to, but I worry that I'm just gonna end up spending a few $100 on shit to realize that Topre is my jam and MX is over. But yeah, we'll see. I'll give it a shot. You cringe when people foam MX boards, and you cringe at Reds. Yeah, like, and I mean, I cringe when people lube their PCB, so, I got some Topre cringe to me too. And, ooh, I'm glad I caught that one, because that was definitely one spring inside the other. And, man, that's another one. Shoot, okay. Yeah, maybe I should turn my light up again, because I just caught two of them that were definitely one spring inside the other, so... Okay, I gotta be real careful on these. I think once I get everything sorted, I'm still gonna just sit here and look over everything, because I really would hate to get 2 springs in one and then, you know, have weird actuation issues and everything else that comes with that. So, alright. But we're getting there. We're getting there real quick. I feel like I don't know how long I've been streaming here. What, almost 2 hours? So yeah, we're getting there. Alright. Cool. I shouldn't say that, because it's not necessarily bad. And in fact, some people swear by it. So I was talking about spring crunch just a moment ago, and like, you know, different things can probably, you know, contribute to it. But one thing people do to relieve spring crunch is lubing their PCBs. And I don't know. To me, the jury's out on it. I've lubed a PCB. I tried to see if it made any difference. It really didn't, at least to me, you know, make any difference. The only thing that it did was left me with a sticky lubed PCB. So the next time I rebuilt the thing, I had to go in there and, like, you know, clean it up. So I don't know. It didn't do much for me, but you know, some people like it, and some people swear by it, that it, you know, relieves spring crunch, and I don't know. There might be something to it, but I don't feel like it did anything for me. And I am so stoked because I just put the last spring in, and it was indeed the last spring, and I did not. So that means that I did not double any of these up. So I think I caught them all as I was going through them. So yeah, I just want to give it the once over look see. Yeah, I think we're good. All right. Look, yeah, dude, I'm stoked. But yeah, instead of lubing the spring, yeah, some people will lube the spring, and they've got different ways of doing it. Some people lube their fingers and pinch the springs between their fingers, just give it a little one of those, and then, you know, set it on paper towel or whatever. Some people will bag lube, so kind of like how I do my my RO59. And do it in just a baggie of lube. But I don't know. That's another one that lubing the springs, like, maybe it's because, like, I've gone to too many metal shows, and I've just, like, blown out that that range in my ears. But, like, whatever it is about spring crunch, it just doesn't bother me. Or, you know, maybe it's, you know, all my boards are crunching and I'm just not noticing it. But whatever it is, it's just really not that bad for me. So I don't sweat it. Alright. So that's all my springs. Now, the fun part, just make sure that all of these are aligned correctly. And that's actually one thing that I've really enjoyed having the overhead camera for, is because then I can just look on my screen and, like, you know, it helps make sure that everything is where I expect it to be. So I think we're actually looking pretty good here. And the, you know, the overall dome sheet definitely helps with that. But yeah, all right. So I think we're good there. Oh, the fun part is dropping the PCB into place. And, you know, the reason for the weirdo housings here are because of these LEDs. So, you know, for certain keys like numlock, and, you know, we got the little LEDs on here. And so those should, when everything is lined up correct, oh, and I guess I should put the board the right way, should just kind of drop in. So let me, yeah, there's that one, and whoop, I think I missed one. All right, so yeah, let me let's set this aside and scoot this down just a little bit, because I forgot how much of a forehead these dang things have. All right, there we go. Let's try that again. Only this time without missing. Okay, there's that one, and boom. Nailed it. Alright, cool. So that's on. Yeah, so Okay, sorry, Chaos Fire Dragon. You can't believe the pre-assembled EC60 kit is missing like 12 screws from the back. So tell me about that. What happened there? Because I don't know. I didn't get the pre-assembled kit, but like when I got my my EC60 kit for the M0110, it was missing pretty much all of the standoffs. So I had I had plenty of the M1.6 screws, but I had none of the standoffs from the AliExpress board. Yeah, so if you haven't, I would definitely hit them up about that, because they were really good about getting me the parts that I was missing. But yeah, that's a bummer. That is a real bummer. All right. So going silver screws first. Those are the ones that go into the raised standoffs, and the black ones are the ones that kind of go through these little arrow spaces that go all the way through the plate. So I like to do the silver ones first, and then once those are on, I can go ahead and flip it over and kind of give it a little type test, make sure that things are moving like I expect them to, make sure that there's no funky noises or any kind of binding or anything, and then once we're good with all that, then we can just pop everything together. But and I know I've talked about it before. I've probably talked about it on almost every stream I've done. But like when you're putting these screws in, make sure that when you're doing it, you kind of go anti-clockwise, like go the opposite way just a bit till you feel the thread drop, and then just screw it in. And that'll make sure that you get full thread engagement, and you're not like cross-threading, or you're not causing it to try to cut new threads. And it's, in metal, it's one thing, and it sucks to cross-thread something, but like when you're doing an HHKB, where you're screwing into the, ABS or AES plate, it's a real freaking drag to, to cross-thread and to tear those threads up. So it's definitely something to consider. When you're doing that. And if you don't already, I mean, I know a lot of people are already in that habit, but if that's not something that you've made a habit, I suggest doing so, just for the preservation's sake. You don't want to be messing up these boards. I mean, especially some of this older stuff, like they're not making any more of these. If you're eating up your screws in your R3 or your hybrid or whatever, whatever, you can buy another one of those, but R1s ain't growing on trees. All right. So, I think I'm getting close here, though. You know what? I have one more silver screw, and as I look at this board, I am not seeing... Oh, there it is. Never mind. I lied. I found it. Yep. Okay. And this, this just shows my ignorance for 87Us, because I don't put these together that often. This is a rare treat for me. Yeah, I usually don't get to play with these. So again, Trunks, thank you. This is a lot of fun. Alright, I'm going to kill my music, crack my headphones, kind of poke around on this. Alright, feeling pretty good. Okay. All right, so you're asking like what the difference in the caps or what the silencing ring. So that is one thing. So this has one key that is currently unsilenced. So they're silenced, and that's the silence return. So I mean, it's not, it is RO59, so it's like, it's smooth, it's pretty, it's not super loud, but you can probably hear it a little bit. So that's the difference between silenced and unsilenced. Yeah, so that's not so bad. Alright, these are feeling good. I feel like those are sounding decent. And the 2Us, it's like... Yeah, I guess one thing I could do potentially is install landing pads under those, which I didn't think about. But like you can hear the... So one thing that old sheets used to do is they actually used to have a rubber strip that would run, past the edges of the domes that would go into the 2Us. That would kind of act as landing pads under the sides of, the stabilized 2U. And it seems they don't make them like that anymore. I've got a couple Leopolds that have them done like that, but yeah, for whatever reason, it doesn't seem like they've been doing those anymore. And it's nice because it does kind of give you, you can hear the land. So I think when I pull it to do that, I might go ahead and put those landing pads underneath those and see if they make any difference in feel. That's not that many screws. Let me see if I have some, and if so, I might just throw those on right now. So I'm gonna check. Yeah, the Band-Aid mod, exactly. And I've actually been I've been Band-Aid modding with these. So these are like some cheapo. I think I got these from AliExpress. It was like, what is like 120 of them for $1.20 or something. They're dirt cheap. And they're just like, gaskets for the housings. But the inside of the gasket is this material right here, which is still, it's like this pour-on that's got like a sticky side. So I've been cutting these up and using these as landing pads, and it's been working really well. So yeah, I think we're just going to do that right now, because I want this board to sound good. I don't want to, I don't want to half-ass this. Like, this is my, I feel like this is like the first commission board that I've done, so I don't want to come out the gate, with a weak board. But yeah, I've built a board for my dad before. I actually built an FC660C for him that he really liked. And then he was in town the other day and tried my what is that board? Tried my Ingot 66. The brass one, and man, he really liked that. So he was really into that board, and I think because of the weight of it, like, he was digging. But like, yeah, he was like, so if you ever want to build me one of those, and I was like, man, it's not just something you can go down to the Micro Center and pick up, So I don't know, if I do come across another brass ingot someday. I mean, I love my dad. I definitely got my computer nerdisms from him. Now he's like a level above. Like, he's a hardcore programmer dude, and the way his brain works, like, I just don't get it. I'm a computer guy. I'm an admin. I'm an engineer. I'm a this, that, and the other, whatever you want to call it today. But like, yeah, I cannot reach the level of nerdiness that he can. I don't know. He's crazy. So yeah, I think of anybody I know that I would like to build a keyboard for, like, build another one for him. I'm totally down for it. But yeah, this has been fun. Like, I don't know. I'm enjoying the process of this build, while like knowing that once it's perfect and once I get it just right, it's gonna be going away. So all right, let me think of how I want to do this. Because, yeah, so it's, what is it, Enter, Shift, Backspace, and Other Shift. I think that's the 4. Okay, cool. Yeah, again, this is, this is a little bit outside of my my wheelhouse, because I'm not always putting together the, Topo boards that actually have like 4 2U. I mean, with an HHKB, it's just the 60 keys, and it's, there's only the enter and the left shift. So yeah, we'll see. It's a little bit different, but I'm digging it. All right. So I trim it down to a square, and then I trim the square into 4 parts, and then I put those underneath them. So that'll be basically like sitting right there. So yeah, let me trim this down. Oh, shit. That's not where I wanted it to go. Come back to me. All right. Sorry, I just realized I turned off the spooky music for my my little impromptu sound test. I can get that going again. Alright. So yeah, so let me just trim these. Okay, so first one. You don't bother with the landing pads? You can't tell the difference with them? It's all in the lube? Yeah, so I think it's 99% in the lube. I mean, I don't, yeah, it's mostly in the lube, but for the downstroke, I still do think that the landing pads can help some, at least for that, like, plastic on plastic action, or plastic on, what, FR4, whatever the PCB is made of, like, I don't know. Alright, I'm going to do this with tweezers, because my fat fingers are getting in the way here. There we go. Alright, that's what I wanted. So yeah, I don't know. I think they help. It may be snake oil. But I don't know. I think they help. I don't think they hurt. Like, with as thin as these are, with like, I don't know. I think it's something. I think there's something to it. But you know what? Trunks, if you hate these, you can always go in there and take them out. Like, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, there's a lot of screws, but it's not, I don't know, it's not so bad. Okay. And I'm going to get a 2U just to make sure that my spacing on these is correct. Yeah, so that's basically what I want. So I want the plastic to be landing on those, but I don't want them to overlap the sides because I don't want them to get in the way of the housing. So that's perfect. All right, that's right where I want them. And then again, I want the dome to sit in the middle and I don't want them to be too close so that they're squeezing that. So yeah, that's right what I'm looking for. All right. So let me do that over here. Actually, yeah, they work. They do the job. And they're cheap. Like, you really can't beat the price. I mean, you can get them on, I think you can buy these on Amazon as well. And they're a little bit more expensive, but then they come with, like, a pair of tweezers or something. But, like, yeah, the ones on AliExpress are, like, what, $1.20 for 120 of them? They're a penny a piece. And really, they're, like, half a cent a piece because you can use the outside and you can use the inside for other stuff. So, yeah, I think they're pretty nice. All things considered. And I love cheapo mods like this. Like, what was the one I was doing the other day? As far as Value Town mods go, I was, what was I doing? Yeah, I was basically force brake modding my HHKB Pro 2 with, like, green, like, frog tape. It's that kind of green painter's low residue tape that, like, dude, it worked perfectly. And it took all the creak out of the case. I did it twice because the first time I kind of overlapped slightly, and so when the case was sealed up, you could still see just a little bit of it showing. Yeah, cool. Showing through, and so I went back and kind of trimmed that up so that it sits nicer. Yeah, it took all the creak out of the cases. Like, it really did the trick. For what I was hoping it would do. So yeah, as far as like Value Town mod, I mean, that's another, like, a roll of that tape is a couple of bucks, and I'm sure I could mod every keyboard I have off of the one roll of tape I've got. So yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I like the the cheapo mods. Like, it's okay. Now this is the fun one, because I'm trying to remember how far apart the 6U spacebar spacing is so that I can do this right. Alright, so that's a 6U right there. Go. Sorry, I've got this whole thing of freaking wires here. From all the boards I've torn apart and put back together. Alright. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright. So let me go ahead and trim one of these down, and then we'll cover up those spots, and then we'll put it back together. See if that makes any difference. Yeah, like some folks said, you know, maybe it doesn't. I mean, I like it. I think it cushions the downstroke a little bit, which, yeah, I don't know. It may just be snake oil. You know, some of the stuff that I do, like I do weird stuff. Like I bake sliders. I, you know, UV cure parts of my keyboards. Like I do strange stuff. So it's like I don't know. Some of it's probably definitely snake oil, but I like the way my boards sound when I take them to meetups. Like, I feel like either, you know, people are being incredibly polite or people actually like the way my stuff feels. So I think there is something to it. But I mean, like everything else in keyboards, it's all about the preference. And what is good for me might not be good for you, but hey, I'm doing the build, so here we are. Alright. So those are set. And it should sit right under the bend, which is perfect on those. Okay. So I think we're good with this. Let's make sure we didn't jar anything here, and then we'll get that crap out of the way. We'll go back over and screw it back together and see if that made any difference. But if nothing else, that means that's just one thing that I'm not going to have to do again later. Alright, so they look good from this angle. Just looking at it on the screen, they look good. Nice! You got to check out Jace's keyboards? Holy crap, Nap Wizard. Now, I am not envious of many persons' keyboard collections out there. That man, though, I like his stuff. Like, he's got some nice boards. He's got some boards that I would love to have. Like, and I mean, there's definitely a couple of them where it's like, I don't know, a few of those Norbazar things, I'm like, alright, I'm going to leave this alone and go to bed, and if it's still there in the morning, I might have to buy it and, you know, spend way too much money. And thankfully, our good friend Jace saved me quite a bit of money over the whole Norbazar thing. Because, yeah, like some of those patinaed cases, good lord, dude. Yeah, it's so nice. I'm really, yeah, there's a few people in the community that, like, their collections are just next level. Wow. He brought 10 boards? I think the most I've ever brought to a meetup was 5. And in that case, I had 4 boards on the table, and then I had the 5th board in my backpack that I, you know, if people were like really inquisitive about the Toper, I'll be like, you want to see a really cool board? Check this out. But yeah, man, 10 boards. That's... Well, if anybody's collection was going to be represented by double-digit keyboards, like, I'm glad it was his. Yeah, that's super cool. I really need to get out to some of the Cali meetups. Like, I don't know. I think in that case, I would probably only bring, like, a board or two, because I really wouldn't want to do, like, that level of travel with multiple keyboards. I would, if something happened, I would be heartbroken. But, like, I really want to get out to one and meet up with the folks, see all the cool shit going on out there. Like, I don't know. The Texas scene is great, and I love it, but, like, seeing pictures of the Cali meetups, seeing all the Texas folk who go out to the Cali meetups, like, that's pretty cool. He had his own table? I believe it. Alright. So, I got those screws in. I just want to take a quick listen and see if... All right. I'm happy with those. All right. Let me go ahead and put these screws in, and then I think we're going to put gloves back on once this is finished assembled and throw this thing in the case. Then I think we're going to put some keycaps on it and maybe do some sound tests, because, yeah, I'm liking how this is feeling. And I love, dude, like, for all the love that I have for all the, all the aftermarket dome makers, like, I love my BKE Redux, though I'd love for them to actually start selling them again. I love my death stuff. Like, my densest stuff feels good. Like, dude, it's all so good. Like, OEM is just right. Like, these domes feel good. So yeah, I'm excited to get this thing all put together and get to type around on it, because again, this is an SRX is something I would not normally buy on my own. So the fact that I get to build Trunks board, this is getting fun. You had to look up flights from area to Texas, and it's so expensive. Yeah, I know April, I think they're doing a big Tex-Mex, like, combined meetup up in Dallas. So I'm hoping we get to see some folk, flying from other spots around the U.S. But, like, I don't know. I love the Tex-Mex meetups. At least the Austin ones, because Austin is so centrally located to some of the other large cities in Texas. Like, Dallas is 3 hours one direction. Houston's like three and a half hours another direction. San Antonio's, maybe an hour and a half, the other direction. Like, Bryan College Station isn't too far. We got all these, cities that kind of, Texas or Austin being central to them. Like, when we have our meetups, we end up bringing a lot of people from other Texas cities. So I get to kind of benefit from that. That, like, a lot of the makers that, like Blind Assassin comes in, like, the folks who are doing cool, new stuff. Like, so I get to see a lot of neat new things, coming out of some of the Texas crew before it hits the interest checks and the group buys and all that. So that is one fun thing. But, like, yeah, seeing the California ones, I mean, I'm sure you guys get that, like, and then some. Like, so that's super cool. All right, we are almost there. So we got 4 more screws. Cool. And I know that I remember talking to Tech, he was maybe worried about the threads with the paint, but that I did not have any problems there. So everything threaded in real nice. That's looking good. So yeah, check that out. That is looking real sharp. Yeah, BA stuff is super cool. Alright, so that is built, and that is just looking right. Yeah, I'm not gonna shed a tear when I send this back to you, Trunks, but I will wave, longingly to the package as they pick it up, because this is looking pretty sharp. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the gloves back on, because now it's time to get the SRX back out. Start opening that up. So let me give me just a second to clear a few things off, because I don't want to set this anywhere that it might get scratched. Get a few things out of the way here. Okay. I'm going to move this. Give it a nice home over here. Alright. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to shake this thing out to get all the dust and stuff off of it. Because it is picking up, these are like all the little gold paint from like inside the housing. So yeah, I need to talk to Tech about how he paints stuff, because he did a much better job of getting all that, you know, painted well and keeping it from chipping than I did on mine. So dealing with his painted plate shows me the limitations of the paint job that I was doing on mine. Like, definitely want to get some tips off of him. Alright, so got that out. Do the other glove. And then we'll start putting this thing in the housing. So one thing I did have to do, and I was actually worried there for a second, I had to go to my bike tools and go find my metric Allen keys, is these back ones are super duper recessed to the point that my tool does not fit into them all the way. So I was before I started this stream, I did have a very brief moment of concern when I was like, wait a minute, do I not have the tool to make this work? And then I was like, dude, I've got toolboxes of tools. I know I've got the tool. I might just not have like the keyboard tool. But yeah, so I went ahead and pulled that out, and you know, metric sizes being metric sizes, this works perfect. So I'm just going to go ahead and pull those real quick, and then I'll do the front ones. And then we will open this guy up. And this part is going to go real quick. So, I mean, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's just like four screws holding this in. And then it's just the, you know, the cable. And I've already got, you know, that guy mounted in there for, I think we're doing USB-C. I'll take a look here in a second. But yeah, so this should be pretty quick. And then we'll slap the keycaps on, and then we'll type on it, and then we'll, you know, I was going to say we're going to, you know, wrap it up in a box and send it off, but I'm going to hold off because I do want to see if I can maybe get that one slider working correctly with a standard slider, so that, you know, homie can use different caps on it if he wants to. But yeah, we'll see. All right, so come on, there we go. There's 4 of those, and yeah, those are long boys. Look at that. They're also not magnetic. I don't know why people make non-magnetic hardware, but here we are. Okay, get that out of there. So I'm assuming these are shorter. Are they? Or are they not? Nah, I guess they're all the same length. Okay. Just wondering if they would be or not. Well, I will say, like, my reservation with the previous show, PC, has actually been the case screws that, because they screw directly into the polycarbonate, I've always, you know, worried about potentially stripping these. And I've gone easy on mine, so I've not had that be a real problem. But like, because they don't have those, like, you know, melted, you know, heat installed inserts or whatever, like, or do they? No. Yeah, it just goes straight into the PC. So okay, well that's just found a hair in there that wasn't mine. So I don't know if I'm dealing with our other vendor, or if that's a trunk special, but yeah, you can get that out of there. Okay, actually, you know what, before I... Okay, yeah. Just gonna give this a quick dusting. Oh, maybe I won't because I'm not plugged in. Just want to make sure there wasn't anything else in there. And actually, yeah, I'm going to use the microfiber cloth just to give it a quick wipe down too, because this will be the side that is showing. And it does look like there was a little bit of, I don't know if that was leftover lube from the previous build or what, but I just don't necessarily want any of that showing. So let's give it a little tidy up. And I'm sorry guys, I am not keeping up here. So a couple pics of Jack's table from Chew. Yeah, let me tell you what, we can take just half a second. I wanna take a look at those. So I'm really curious. Sheesh. All right. All right. So yeah. So check that out. So those are some of Jace's boards, or you know, Jack, depending on how you. Gosh, yeah, that's the one. These frickin' copper patinaed one. That's really nice. Yeah, finding out that your spacebars suck ass. Like I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty good with spacebars, but man, when you like type on a board that is like a perfectly tuned spacebar and it's just that like thok 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 thok, like it's yeah. There's definitely a next level of pick a board and type. Yeah, man. His shit is so nice. So nice. Okay. So that was that picture, and then what's this other one? Yeah, so there's man, he had a collection out. Oh, I love seeing the Veracity look at all the nicks in it. Yeah, like look at that. I love that. Veracity steel is so nice. And he's got the numpad to go with it. So yeah, that's a set right there. Jeez, dude. Okay. Okay, enough drooling. Let's get back to the build. I just wanted to yeah, thank you for sending those. Those are very nice. His stuff is very, very nice. Okay. So first things first. Okay. And just to make sure there's not any schmutz or anything on the plate. That actually looks pretty good. Yep. Okay. So that should kind of neck in right there. And this drops in here. Okay. So yeah, so there's 4 screws that hold that all together. And they should be right here. So, okay, that's USB-C. Okay, so those are for R2. I'm doing an R1, so I don't need those. And then I think the feet are already installed, so I don't need those either. So yeah, let's just grab these guys. I'm sorry if you hear my dogs barking in the background. I think they're fighting over a spot on the couch, so they may be doing their little, you know, pecking order bullshit. Alright. What size are these? Slightly bigger. This one? Yep, okay. And I'm glad that these have inserts, because these are some pretty hefty screws that I feel like if you torqued too much on these, you'd eat right through that PC. So okay, in fact, let me loosen these just a hair, so I have a little bit of play, so that I can get all these aligned just perfectly. Then we'll tighten them up. All right, it's that one. or your switch choice is horrible. Yeah, like, I don't know. I want to explore the world of MX, but I feel like I'm gonna do that where I like try a bunch of switches and none of them are ever perfect, and I just get all grumpy about them. And like, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, we'll see. Okay. I just really like Topre, so like, yeah, I feel like an MX switch has got to be really freaking good to really catch my attention, but we'll see. Okay. Gosh, that is nice. All right, I'm just gonna pop a couple caps on, just to make sure that these are relatively centered. Let's see. Let's see if I can remember how an 87U goes. Yeah, and like I was saying, like, these caps are a little scuffed. I'm trying to actually show, like, there's like a, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I may go look and see if I have some other caps. That aren't so ugly, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. These will work for right now to at least like get this thing up and running, and you know, then we can worry about it later. But all right, is it Control Win Alt is how they do these for these 87Us? Yeah. And I'm sorry guys if I may sit here and struggle a little bit. It's been a minute since I put keycaps on an 87U, so I might not get all these in the right place. Let's see, what is it? G. Okay, what is page up and page down? Is it insert, delete, home, end, page up, page down? I don't remember how those work. Okay, you've got some laying around. Okay, good. I'm glad. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to at least like make sure that, you know, I wasn't too crooked before snapping everything into place. Honestly, the spacing like around the sides, like I feel like, yeah, I feel like they're pretty good. So I think we can go with this. I'm just gonna leave these like they are. I'm gonna flip this over, do the bottom assembly, and then we can snap on the rest of these caps, because I'm pretty happy with this. All right, and before I do, I am gonna go ahead and again go over the inside here, because there are some like, I don't know what all this is, but there's something in there. All right, let me lay out another microfiber so I can set this on it. Yeah. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's there's still something in there. What is that? Okay. All right. And I'm sorry, I'm just trying to be a little meticulous here, but I just wanted, there was like some little hairs and things inside the case that I just want to make sure they didn't stay there when I assembled it. So yeah, okay, I think we're looking good now. So let me go ahead and... You know, I didn't ask for jumpers, because this does, you know, once I put it together, it's sealed up. I mean, obviously you can take it apart yourself, but do you have a specific jumper setting that you like on your R1 87Us? It looks like right now it is down, up, down, up. So let's see what that actually does, because I don't recall. There. So what are the dip switch settings? 87U dip switches. Okay, so switch 1 is left control key. So the way that it is currently set, it is caps lock is caps lock, control is control. So, and number 2 is up, so that is disable Windows key. Switch 3 is down, which is enable numeric keypad. And switch 4 is firmware update mode, which is enable. I don't know. Is that what you want? It looks like it's off on, which if what I'm reading here is correct, that would be so off is left control, caps lock is caps lock, on is disable Windows key, off is numeric keypad, enable, which you still have to hit numlock to turn it on, so that's no big deal. And then this one is firmware update mode. You want 1 off and 2 off? Okay. And then 3, do you want off also? And then the last one is currently set for on. Do you want any of these on, or do you just want them all off? I mean, obviously you can, you know, pull 8 screws, and can I just have them all off? Yep, okay, easy enough. Cool, done. Alright, so just need to plug this in. Let me turn this around, make it easier on myself. Come on. Sorry, my big meaty fingers make this part of the install a little chore, but just want to make sure I'm getting this lined up properly and don't tweak anything. You know, I probably should have done this before I screwed the board in, but you know, here we are. All right, and I might actually use a pair of tweezers to help me align this. It's giving me a headache. All right. Come on, you bugger. Boom. There we go. Alright, connected. Sweet. So... Okay, so yeah, that doesn't... I don't like how that sits, so... Sorry, I'm just trying to get this cable to kind of lay up into the void so that it's not pinching when I close it. See, is there a... Okay, there we go. That keeps it out of the way. Sorry, I don't know why I'm being so anal about this. I just, you know, it looks kind of funny when it's, yeah. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna call that good enough. Let's go ahead and screw some screws in. See, I guess 4 is related to, you know, some kind of firmware flashing utility for these old R1s is my best guess. I don't know if I've ever actually updated the firmware on one of those, or if I've just like... Yeah, now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever updated the firmware on any of my my Real Force R1s. They just work. Alright, so I'll say a lot of the music that's played are, you know, some classic horror themes. This one is from The Ring 2, which I don't think I've ever seen, but man, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Yeah, I guess I'm out of the, like, good horror themes, and now I'm seeing things like the possession of, what, Emily Rose or some, I don't know, all this weird shit. Okay. But the important thing is this keyboard build is going pretty good, all things considered. Man, I love this PC. Oh yeah, and these are the ones that don't fit with that tool, so I gotta go back to the old bike tool. I'm a real sucker for PC cases. Like, I've got the I've got the Norbauer Ghost of Christmas Future Heavy Grail, and I've got the FC660C. And man, I love how those look. Like, and I've got the Show, the Snipe in PC, and dude, they make, I mean, they're just such cool looking cases. So, oh, sorry, thank you. I'm not even paying attention here. I apologize. Thanks, y'all. Don't. So sorry, y'all. Yeah, that's why you join me, right? So we can all browse the web together. Alright, we're almost there. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I was not even paying attention to my screen. I was just looking down at this pretty keyboard. All right. Just taking a look to make sure that any dust on it is on the outside. I just really want to make sure there's nothing inside it, which I think we're looking pretty good. All right. Well, hey. Look at that gold, dude. I really dig that gold in that PC. Like, I don't remember what it was previously built with on stream, but like, yeah, I'm really digging that plate. Look at that. All right. So let's go ahead and set this down, get these tools out of the way so I don't accidentally place anything in the wrong place and scratch anything. And then I am going to, on my browser that is no longer covering up my screen, pull up a 87U layout diagram so I can make sure I put everything where it's supposed to go. Okay, cool. I think I actually did have all that figured correctly. So, okay, so home key. The arrows. My very favorite key of all, the Win key that's embossed. Yeah, man, I'm really, really stoked about having this thing all put together and typing on it, because it is a nice looking board. Like this, the SRX is a pretty sweet, sweet case, I think. Like I didn't spring for one when they came out, because I felt like I had bought enough show boards recently, but man, I'm kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say I regret it, because if I did build one, I probably wouldn't actually use it and bust it out that often. But dude, this is a nice looking board, Trunks. I think you're gonna enjoy this one. What's up, Mick Fernando? Yeah, Show is really knocking it out of the park. Like these are incredibly nice boards. Oh, that's right, I forgot that's the tilde backtick. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. How does this work on an 87U ANSI? So yeah, let's what are we looking at? Where the fuck is B? Is that B over here? No, B is over here. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry y'all that I'm not getting through these quicker. I don't have I don't know. I know where they are when I type, but when I'm looking at them on the board, like I don't remember where everything is. So let's and these caps, they've been through the I don't know. The board that they came off of was incredibly disgusting. So I went ahead, like I ultrasonicked them, I scrubbed them down. So I tried to get as much of the disgusting schmutz that was on them off of them as I could, but they're still like, they are scratched to hell. Like they're not the nicest shape keycaps. So all right, I think that's all right. So yeah, that's the special windowed control, because it does have if you do change the the little flippy guy there, that'll light, and that's the one that has the strange slider. So that looks good. That's my tilde. Use insert. Page up. Yeah, the plate looks good, right? That was the one that that Tech Beez did up. So I am super stoked and so glad that we were able to get that from him, because yeah, that really makes this thing pop. Like it looks so good with the PC. Let's see. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. God, I really, really love these embossed Win keys. Like, I don't know, there's something about them. I hope, I know I've asked about it, but I really hope that that Kiko gets around to just making some of those in like the OEM colors, because I would love to get a bunch of those for my HHKBs, like my beige and my, I just think those are just the coolest. So I don't know. We'll see. That is definitely one of my asks, like from the keyboard or keycap makers out there, is like, just give me embossed keys. I love them so much. right, we are getting there. We're getting close. Pause break. Another key that I never see. Print screen. What the hell is that? Yeah, all these wacky keys, dude. Like, what do you guys do with these extra 27 keys? Like, isn't 60 enough? Isn't it enough? Is that right? Yeah, man, yeah. All these, like, non-split backspace and shit is so confusing to me. It's like, what do you mean the tilde key goes on the left side of the keyboard? Are you mad? Alright, we're getting there. Is that this X? Yeah. Okay. Got to tune out for the night. Yep, Trunks, thank you so much. I really appreciate you letting me build this for you. I'll get get a sound test together for you. If you have any questions on the build, let me know. We can take it in, DMs. If you do want anything changed out on it, obviously we'll catch up. But yeah, thank you so much. I really, dude, this was a pleasure. I've had a rough week. This is like the relaxation I needed. So this is like my zen right here. So again, I appreciate you. We'll catch up and I'll get this thing sent back to you as soon as I can. All right. I'll catch you later, man. Yeah, the brass is so nice. I love how it shows through here. Dude. Yeah. Yeah, the brass on this it really takes it to the next level. So, shout outs to Beez on that one. He's got a good eye. All right, we are getting so close. Man, okay, so I will say I don't like this control because it is slightly crooked. And that's the weird slider. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything about that. Obviously I can take it apart and kind of try to tweak it a little bit, but yeah, I'm not super keen on that. So I may mess around with it later, not tonight. All right. We're getting so close. The other control. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot this is the 87, so it's got the double right there. What is it? The menu button or something? JKL. Oh, my P is off by 1. All right, let me yeah, it should be over. See, this is why I love legend lists, is you just, as long as you've got the right row, you're good to go. Okay, we are so close. UI. The fancy menu key. I think it's Windows and then menu key, but it might not be correct. Question mark, and finally the D. All right, got to give it the D. Cool. So man, look at that shit. Let's go ahead and plug it in real quick and make sure everything on here works. Does that fit? Yeah, that fits real nice. Okay. So let's see. Oh, might help if actually hit Where's the right control button? Alright, so we're about to find out. Let's here, let me put it up in the corner there so I can bring up my browser. Alright, oh well. Damn logo's in the way. Whoops. Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. Oh, whoops. I guess the print screen button actually fires off print screen. That's kind of funny. Alright, good news. We are 100% working. Cool. I guess we can do the numlock and do... Sorry, I forgot my my numpad was mapped to some other shit. But yeah, okay. Moral of the story, the keyboard 100% works. And yes, these are the OEM caps. These are just your standard 87U caps. You can kind of see some shine on them. The spacebar especially, you can kind of, you know, there's some good shine there. There's some pretty hefty scratches on the enter key. This was not the original set that that our friend sent to the last vendor. These are whatever the heck came on that other board that was sent back to him. So yeah, I'm not going to get too deep into that. But point is, this thing is working. So let's kill this creepy music, and yeah, let's do some typing on it. Okay. Whoops. Is it this one? Yeah, there we go. All right. So let me see if how terrible I can do here. This is not my layout. This is kind of, you know, we'll see. It's gonna suck, but I just want to give it a go. Yeah, not great. Alright, well, here. I'm really not the keenest on the typing test, but let me I do want to just at least, you know, get the mic down here and type around on it a little bit, so. Now that I got it built, I'm going to take off the gloves. Okay. Man, there's... Might do a little bit of spacebar optimization here when I open it back up to see if I can do anything with this, because this is not silent. So, you know, folks who are asking the difference between silence, unsilence, like unsilence. So there you go. And yeah, the reason I had to do this one unsilenced is if you were following, this is a special slider housing. Because of the way that it's got that corner LED, they had to take a slider housing turned, and then the slider itself is actually a smaller diameter slider. So I think we measured it out. It was like the normal one is like 8.3 something, and this one was like 7 point something rather. So about a millimeter difference in like slider diameter. And then underneath the housing, it actually had these little kind of a collar that the slider would poke up through. And so just everything working together really got in the way of silencing rings and didn't allow you to use a silencing ring on that. Additionally, it does sit, you know, what about, you know, 0.3 millimeters higher. So yeah, that's gonna be something I'm gonna try to fix before we box this thing up and send it back to Trunks. But I've got some ideas on how to fix that, and there's, you know, that Desk Authority article that got sent that, you know, has some good ideas. So yeah, we're gonna fix that up. So there's this rub right here, and it looks like it's on the outside of the case, and I'm not sure what that is from. But it doesn't look like it's, yeah, it's not lube or anything. Yeah, not sure what that's from, because I haven't really had this thing resting on anything, but yeah, the rest of it looks really good. Man, yeah, I like the SRX. I'm not I'm not mad that I held off on one of these, because I know I probably wouldn't really use it, you know, since it's not an HHKB layout. But man, it is a good looking, good feeling, good sounding board. So yeah, y'all, thank you so much for joining me. I think I'm gonna, let's see, is there anybody we can raid right now? Does anybody know of any keyboard nerds online? I'm not seeing anybody. What is actually, is Motion Grape? What are they doing right now? Let's see. We dang old ads. I'm trying to see what Motion Grape is up to. Oh, but it looks like there's some good people in that one. So yeah, let's go ahead and just raid Motion Grape. Oh, I did the slash the wrong way. See, yeah, man, I just don't know how to do this shit. Raid Motion Grape. Random crash compilations. Well, I mean, I guess it's not keyboard shit, but hey. I know the people hanging out in here, so we're going in. All right, we're doing it. We're gonna go watch some crashes, I guess. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna stick around too much because I'm not feeling the crashes right now. But it's always good to see say what's up to a fellow keyboard enjoyer. All right, going in.